said I usually don't do that many Harry and Meghan videos, but since there's all the talk about the book right now, I thought I'd go ahead and do another one. So, this is the book, The Finding Freedom, that Meghan thought was going to change her fortunes and make her beloved by one and all in the public. Well, it seems to have just done the opposite, but then I guess she is not very good at judging public sentiment, public feelings, or public reaction. So, it seems she has laid another egg, as they say in show business, or it's another turkey. Because all I've heard is everybody laughing about her peeing in the woods. And, they're even making jokes about their new property having lots of bushes for them to do their business in. And it's just really, they did not win any brownie points with this book. And quite frankly, it seems that it is her diary, just not really ghost written. No. She gave her diary to Omid and Carolyn, and Omid and Carolyn just sort of put it into the third person, so it made it sound like someone else was saying it and it wasn't in first person. That seems to be the most likely scenario. Now, I'm not reading the book because, after all, why should I? I listen to the other commentators and the ones who are more popular, and they're the ones who are going to have to do the dirty work of reading the book and reporting to the rest of us. So anyway, it does not seem like that Meghan and Harry have won any friends or influenced any people with this book. Just another exercise in humiliation, but apparently Harry and Meghan do not disgrace easily. Yesterday I saw videos about Princess Anne's 70th birthday, and it talked about how she got Harry's old job as captain of the Marines. Now, wouldn't a normal man feel a little bit of embarrassment or shame if he was captain of the Marines in his nation? He's captain of the Marines, and he leaves it, and his 70-year-old aunt takes his place. It doesn't sound like it was a very hard job, or it sounded like he was pretty expendable if a 70-year-old woman could take his place. Where is his manhood? Wouldn't that even give his ego a slap? One of these days, I don't think, he gave up everything to chase Meghan, and I don't know if someday he's going to think that he's gotten the best end of the deal. One of these days. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Now, going into the case of will they be able to topple the monarchy even from their distant land? Now, I've heard different people say different things. Some people say, oh yes, for sure it'll topple it. Other people say, no, it'll bend it a little bit, but it won't destroy it. And I would say we have to wait and see. It seems like a lot is going to ride on whether or not the Queen is tough on them and takes away their titles. It seems like the people have been screaming for their titles to be stripped for quite some time now, and it hasn't happened. Well, to be fair, they did say they'd take a year. The Queen gave them a year to review, but it doesn't seem like they are really trying to get privacy and trying to not bring disgrace upon the royal titles. So, from pretty much everybody's perspective, they should have lost the titles by now. So, what is the Queen going to do? So, basically, how much damage the monarchy sustains depends upon how tough Charles and the Queen end up being with Harry and Meghan. Maybe they think it'll blow over and the public will forget about it, but I don't know. Not with them always in the news every other day, doing something outrageous. If they want the public to forget about it, I suggest they stay out of the news, because right now they are just like box office poison, a magnet of ridicule. But as I said, Harry and Meghan do not disgrace easily. that seems to be a characteristic of the left. And I want to say that the sugars that they talk about that are so vile are probably the same people that attacked Tommy Robinson and President Trump. Those Meghan sugars are probably the exact same people because they're the leftists. But I said, so ultimately on the monarchy question, we've got to wait and see what happens. I mean, how upset are the people going to be if the titles aren't taken? Because that could, what could hang on that? So we'll see. We'll see what the Queen does. We'll hope for the best. We hope she does what the people want. But anyway, the Megxit, as Dr. Steve Turley mentioned, is a perfect analogy to the, is the radical left versus the monarchy, the tradition. And just like the radical left is versus civilization. And that's basically what it is. It's a perfect analogy. Civilization versus anarchy. It's the same case here. Yes, the radical left is trying to take over and destroy our civilization, and the good, average people are just sort of helplessly standing by and watching at this point, and we hope that's going to change. But at this point, they're just standing helplessly by. And now the case with Harry and Meghan, Meghan is trying to smash the monarchy and, turn it into some kind of dictatorship where she gets to be the boss. And the Queen and Charles, if they're being perceived as helpless, weak standbys, that's the concern. I mean, they're just giving them whatever they want. So basically we have two forces of radical left wing attacking civilization, institutional civilization. And that is our biggest problem. So there's definitely something to be learned from this case. And who wins will depend on what the good people end up doing. If they continue to be passive and non-aggressive, but you can't be that way if you want to win, because the left is going to be very aggressive and they are out to win. So you must be just as aggressive as the left. So I just recently saw a documentary about how the Queen has placed her duty before her family, and in this, most cases we would say that's not a good thing, but in this case, when your family is part of the government and the country is your priority, that you sort of have to do that. So we're going to have to wait and see if she's going to put the duty before the love for her grandson, because, I mean, the grandson's done pretty bad things to the country and to her. And basically, I mean, is that house they bought, are they going to be able to keep it? I mean, their allowance is a couple of million a year. A couple of million is like nothing to them. I mean, Meghan wears more than that in clothes in probably a month. So, I mean, I don't see how they're going to survive and on that a couple of paltry million and keep that house. Unless, and I heard Taz, according to Taz, say something about Charles raising the rent on the Duchy of Cornwall, and she was suspecting that he's raising the rent to pay for Harry and Meghan's house. That's not good. So we've definitely got to keep an eye on that, because that's the kind of thing, if Charles is doing that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing that could topple the monarchy. It's basically the aristocrats taking and taking and taking, and plus this pandemic is not going to make them look any better. The toppling the monarchy is when the aristocrats take from the people and just squander money on themselves, and that's when the monarchies topple. So we'll have to wait and see. But seriously, do you think Harry and Meghan are going to get that many speaking engagements, enough to pay for that house, for the upkeep, the servants, the utilities, the mortgage, the taxes? I don't really see it. They're going to have to get an awful lot of help or do an awful lot of speaking engagements to get all that paid for. But we shall see. So, trying to keep up with the videos as much as I can, and the Harry and Meghan is just interesting. Like I said, it parallels the fight between the right and the left and in society, and between the civilization and between the anarchists. Meghan's technically an anarchist against the monarchy, a one-woman anarchist crowd, an army of one. So that's why we keep following their notorious activities. And we'll see what the people do. And hopefully the people in both battles, in the left versus right battle and the Harry and Meghan versus the people, the citizens battle, both turns out the citizens stand up and push these overly entitled aristocrats out of their positions and puts them right back down with all the rest of us. Okay, well, we'll talk to you later. Take care.